Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. It is the KVJ After the Show podcast for Tuesday. Vicious V is on her way back today from New Orleans in Mardi Gras.
She's probably listening right now. She loves our show so much.
Oh, I'm sure she just can't get enough of it. You know, that is a long ride, though.
Coming back
Yeah.
always sucks because you always want to get back to your own sheets.
Yep. No, that's it. So, yeah, she looked like she had a good time. She posted up a lot of photos. Looked like yesterday they were having all kinds of crustaceans, all that kind of stuff that you don't necessarily love, Jaybird.
Oh, no. I fucking hate a crustacean. A popcorn shrimp I'll take. I get it. It's not a crustacean. All right, I got it.
She had crawfish and shrimp. And
Yeah, all the fixins.
yeah, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she looked like she had a good time. So she'll be back in with us tomorrow. She can take over that damn dirt of the day again, thank God.
Do you get skeeved out when you're on a road trip, taking a shower in a hotel or a motel? Does that bother you?
I don't know if it necessarily bothers me. It depends upon what it is. Now, luckily, I typically travel with a couple of pretentious ladies that there was one time when my daughter was playing softball. We stayed in a really ratchet place, and we slept on top of the sheets in our clothes, laid things down, and that broke us. That was the last time where she's like, I've got to stay in a place that's relatively decent.
The beds can skeeve me out even if it's at a fancy place.
I know, I agree. I'm that way too.
Sometimes, I don't know, man. How do you feel about going number two? Do they skeeve you out too? It all depends on how it's clean.
Luckily, I haven't been in a hotel where I was so skeeved out that I couldn't take a dump when I had to go for a while.
You need to head to Jersey then, dog.
Yeah. It's not like you stay in a terrible place. Now, I've been in those kind of places, and there are places that...
It was a Breaking Bad type of motel I stayed at. It would have been in a scene in Breaking Bad.
Right, yeah.
Pictures look a lot different online.
Yeah, that's tough. So, yeah, I'd probably reconsider something like that. But so we'll see and get her full story tomorrow when she's back with us about the good time that she had. And then the big question, will she then still drink this weekend? You're saying yes? You think
she has to. She loses power if she doesn't drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's something she's got to do.
Oh, Mom will have Kahlua in the morning.
Okay. All right. Let me see. We got a couple interesting emails here today. One, maybe I'll get the full story of this tomorrow on your Whacked Out News. But it is a screenshot of a summary of this story of a naked guy crashing into a car in Canada. There's a link to a video that you can see. The guy is covering himself, looks like with either a towel or a rug. It is got to be cold because there's snow that's been shoveled up on the streets. And the dude, I guess, is naked. And it says that he was a 40-year-old dude that faces charges of careless driving, dangerous operation of a motor vehicle, breaking and entering, assault, racing of a motor vehicle, and failing to properly wear a seatbelt and speeding. So I don't know what exactly that whole story was, but that's a tease for tomorrow's Whacked Out News.
Man, I noticed a theme in the Whacked Out News. A lot of people in their 40s in the Whacked Out News. There's always some middle-aged dude or middle-aged woman ends up throwing a liquor bottle off of her cooch. It's some kind of weird story.
There's all kinds of crazy stuff. I can tell you the story that I think that I like the most right now is that nut job is running for mayor in Boynton Beach, that she doesn't disappoint. When she got arrested, she just started screaming, and that's what happened. She didn't want to put her mask on, and they said, sorry, there's a mask mandate. You either got to put your mask on, you got to leave. And she's like, I'm going to leave my mask off, and I'm going to stay. And they're like, all right, we got to call the cops. So the cops are dragging her out, and she's screaming, talking about, get your hands off my personhood. I know my rights. And then she was in court, and she was laying on the ground for 10 minutes, and they couldn't get her up off the ground. She was praying. She's got now like a little cult following, I guess, going around with her. And then she got up and started speaking in tongues to the judge.
Dog, if you have a microphone, eventually you will get fans and followers.
I'm just like, wow. And she has a chance to be the mayor of Boynton Beach coming up in a week.
A chance.
A chance. Well, we're going to improve her odds because we created a campaign commercial for her we're going to run tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to see if we can make a dent in this.
That's fucking hilarious.
So we'll see if we can get this nut job elected. Could you imagine the entertainment she'd be for 4 years?
You're kidding when you say that.
I am kidding.
But someone's going to hear, they go, oh, Kevin, what the fuck are you doing? Oh!
I'm hoping you'd hear this and be like, oh, no, I can't vote for this lady. She's unhinged.
Some people don't get jokes, man. It's kind of, we were talking about that in the other room before the show got started. Some people really don't know when you're kidding around. Not you, just in general in life.
Yeah, don't listen to our show.
I'm like, that's clearly a fucking joke.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we probably, there's probably some people, from some of the comments we get, we could probably stand to shed a few people.
Yeah, and I love when they go, Bird, if you do this, I'm not going to listen to your fucking show. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I don't get fucking paid, but fuck off.
Right.
Like you're hostage.
The 95% of the other people enjoy it. That's what they come here for.
You're holding it over my head. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's like, you know what, this show's like a snake. We always have to be shedding some skin. So if you're just like going, I just don't like that they're going to try to do this, and it's, you know,
or your show,
it's probably not for you then.
I saw your comment, it made me laugh. We always get these fucking haters on our social media. They go, this show fucking sucks, get it off.
Oh, they said the show's been going downhill. Yeah.
We've been hearing that literally since... You've been hearing... I've heard that.
I said yes. I heard that 20 years ago.
I mean, every fucking show's going down. Well, you know what?
It's been going down for decades.
Still around, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right. Shed another one. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Shed another one. Goodbye. All right. Well, this email probably lose even more listeners. This is from Eric. He said, philosophical question for Jake Bird. If you sucked yourself off, would it feel more like you're sucking someone off or getting sucked off yourself?
It's a great question. And
Okay.
it kind of goes back to the whole rubbing yourself, not masturbating, but rub, just a gentle rub. I love to be rubbed. I love to be massaged. But if I do it to myself, it doesn't feel nearly as great. It's got a different feel to it.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, you can make yourself come from a blowy, of course, but I think it's going to probably feel different from another person.
I don't remember a lot of my dreams. I had the weirdest dream, maybe one of the weirdest dreams I've ever had.
Please tell me it's about you blowing yourself.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Have you had that? And you were,
Yes.
and I was so conflicted. I don't know why. All of a sudden, my dick was big enough and I could bend enough that I could blow myself. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And I was really having this big philosophical debate with myself. Do you do this or not? Now you're capable. And I'm wondering if guys had that ability, how many guys would do it? And then how many guys would actually admit that they had done it?
And the problem with it happening in my dream, it turned into a night. I couldn't even reach mine. So I was like, fuck. I'm trying to find
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean, that's why, this is why it was a dream. It's like, oh my gosh, I have the ability to do this now. And you're like,
Dog.
Do I do this? Do I not do this? This is really weird.
You know, if dudes were able to suck their own penis, they would be doing it on the reg. Stop fronting. You jerk off with your hand.
Yeah, well, I remember, being in high school. And I always hung out with dudes that were older than me. And some of these guys, I think I'd gone on spring break. And I shouldn't have been. I think I was 16. And these guys were in college. So why I'm there, I don't even know. But they were asking me, they're going, jerk off, right? And I'm like, no, of course not. And of course I did.
Of course.
But I was like, no, I was horrified, and they're like, we do. And I thought they were trapping me. I'm like, okay, this is a trap. They want me to admit it. They go, dude, you jerk off, haha. But no, and I started to realize over time that you admit it. Yep. So it'd be kind of the same thing. If you could do that and have that ability, would you actually tell your buddies about it, or would you still do the whole thing? Like, no, I'd never do that. Or would you just be like, all guys have been going, of course we can. If you can do that and you don't do that, what's wrong with you?
I'm super tight with my crew. I would know, they would know. If they do it, I do it. Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, to your point, I remember that too, being a young kid, being ashamed and embarrassed about flogging the dolphin.
Yeah, right.
And then it took one. It always takes one brave soul to go,
I do it.
Dude,
and they're like, you know what? I do
masturbating
too, yeah.
left and right. And it just takes one, and then another one follows.
I think a lot of guys would do it, and I think the whole thing, all the discussion would be, at what point do you jump off the pump? You know, that would be it. Yeah, going how far do you go? And I would probably give myself a long enough of a window. I would never want any surprises.
That's a good question. That's going to be different for everybody involved.
Yeah.
So
okay. So I wonder how many guys then have had that dream where they had the ability to blow themselves.
I wonder how many people can really do that as a legit thing. You know, somebody on the planet can do that.
On the planet, yes.
Is it common? Of course not.
No, it's not. But yeah, you've seen some ridiculously flexible people. And then the question is, do they do it?
Look, if a woman can get pregnant 2 different times from 2 different babies at different times,
yeah, I had that on the
somebody
Whacked Out
on the
News
planet
yesterday.
can suck their own penis.
Yeah. Well, I would like to hear if somebody can. What was it like? Is it conflicting? Do you admit it? Yeah. What is that all about?
And we would be having this conversation with Virginia. It would actually just be probably getting even dirtier.
Yeah, it would actually. It's a good thing we're having it without her because she would take it to a level that would make us feel even more weird.
She would amp it.
Yeah, all right, okay, all right. I get it. We don't have to.
But you're
have to be so graphic.
You're asking the hard-hitting questions.
Y'all want to come in your eye?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, okay, all right. We get it. We know it's possible. Yeah, it's as it is. This is something made for the after the show as well. You say that you're seeing this on regular broadcast TV. It came up at 6 a.m. in the morning on basic cable. It's a commercial selling a product called the Booty Boot Camp Training Kit. It's a woman in a commercial saying things like backdoor pleasure and 6-inch device for when you're ready.
Y'all, please tell me I am not crazy. I've seen this commercial a few times now on basic cable between 5:30 and 6 o'clock a.m. And she's showing off the vibrator. There's ridges on it.
Yeah, I mean,
she's talking about backdoor.
Yeah, if you look it up, there's the Adam and Eve Booty Boot Camp Training Kit. It's $29.95. And you get 3 silicone anal plugs, a small, a medium, and a large.
Yeah, she even goes in talking. She does a whole specialty talk about the large. With the large, Kev, you get an extra inch. You go from 5 and graduate to the 6-incher.
And this is
in the
now
commercial.
When you say basic cable, that would be like a major network.
Kevin, I've seen it on 2 or 3 different channels. I know one was on Comedy Central, which I understand, but still at 5:45 a.m.?
Yeah, I mean, it's something you can go and buy it on Amazon, of course, and you can get it anywhere else.
Has anybody heard of this booty toy that I saw on these infomercials that they are just promoting? Oh, the spokeswoman, Kevin?
Yeah.
She is selling it big time.
Yeah, they one place calls it an evolved anal kit, and there's actually butt plug reviews of it on YouTube.
I'm getting ready, and the TV's on, and I go, what the fuck what did she just say? I go, holy shit. Then I hear it again the next day, and then I heard it a couple other times.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I was surprised.
Well, it is kind of interesting because, we are in a world where, now you can put different things on TV you never used to see. And what's cable, what's broadcast, what's the whole rules. And I think anymore it's just going to be the Wild Wild West unless you're on a kids thing and you've got your TV set up so you can't get on any other channel. It's probably going to have to be that way. If you got a young kid and you don't want to see anything dirty, you can only have Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and that's about it.
I mean,
PBS.
Look, I am no fuddy-duddy, but at 5:45 and I'm hearing this woman talking about anal pleasures, it's like, whoa.
What I always love is going and checking out the reviews. Does pretty well. It's got 678 5-star reviews, 243 4-star reviews.
Oh, somebody in the chat room knows about it.
Yeah, it's only got 12 1-star reviews.
Yeah, you will. They're being quiet and all coy right now.
Yeah,
you will get a comment or a.
Here's what some people are saying about this booty boot camp. Great for beginners looking to stretch their limits. It says, I was an anal novice before I purchased these butt plugs. They're just the right size. I start with the smallest one and eagerly...
This is the shit they were talking about on the commercial.
This feels like somebody at the company wrote it, but I eagerly worked my way up to the largest. Anyone looking to get into anal penetration should first exercise their sphincter. After using the Booty Boot Camp training kit, I was able to take a larger strap-on dildo in the old poop chute.
They said poop chute?
It says this is on the review. This is on the review.
Okay, these
are personal reviews. But like I said, I'm wondering. Some of these are like, okay, it's very descriptive.
The stretch the limits is very
because they use the next sentence says the concave design is perfect for gripping. I mean, that sounds like somebody that works for Booty Boot Camp writing this.
I agree with that.
I am absolutely satisfied with my purchase. Like, that doesn't sound like a real human wrote that.
Now, I want to ask the chat room a question, and I want to make a consensual question. Does anyone know about this booty thing? Are you doing it?
Oh, I mean, people are definitely doing it. I mean, there's a lot of people that would do it.
I'm talking the chat room.
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone have it? Is anyone going to admit they've tried this out?
Give us your reviews, because, it's getting great reviews, unless it's just they're setting people up.
Jen T in the chat room said, OMG, someone just walked into my office on butt plug. That's rough, Jen T.
What are you listening to?
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Somebody said, I love these toys. I just wish they offered them in a pump-up expandable version. I use them a lot.
What do you mean? Oh, they want bigger?
I guess so.
How big is your butthole?
I guess what happens is after you start small, but then after a while...
you become stronger.
I mean, it becomes like the kitchen sink.
It's like lifting weights. You need a bigger...
It's like you have a garbage disposal.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. Somebody in this review... says overall pretty good. The smallest plug is too small.
So
small?
This is somebody that really wants to.
I mean, how big is your sphincter?
Well, I think it's kind of like
because I looked at the small one. It don't look too small to me.
So I think it's like anything when it comes to all this stuff. It depends on the person. I think some people could just take more in the butthole, Kev. I just think it's the way it is. I think that's just life.
This review says, great product. Doesn't hold smell as long as you clean it well after each use.
All right. That is...
oh my gosh. Doesn't hold smell.
It's totally fucked.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. Listen to this one. I am down a rabbit hole I can't get out of.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I sent it to you. I couldn't believe it.
It's not a rabbit hole. I'm down a butthole I can't get out of. It says, my wife loves this at age of 71. This helps her deal with aging issues to make loving fun again.
Yeah.
That's what she's using is the Booty Boot Camp at 71.
Well, you got to think, Kevin, if she's 70, the anal boom probably came around the 70s. So think about that. That was 30, 40 years ago. They probably got into it and maybe they took a break and now they're back into it to revamp.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy. I'm glad I sent this into you.
I think I know what I'm doing with my day.
Oh, you're gonna buy one? You're gonna try some things out?
No, I'm gonna go back and read all the reviews. I do nothing but read Booty Boot Camp reviews all day long.
When you say a comment, I think I know what I'm gonna do with my day. It sounds like you're
sorry. Yeah.
To explore.
No, I'm not purchasing. I'm not going down this. It's just crazy, and yeah, that they're advertising on just a regular. Old channel.
Why couldn't we talk about this in the 8 o'clock hour?
Yeah.
On the regular show.
That's just some crazy stuff, huh?
A lot of people are awfully quiet and coy. Just by mere numbers, someone's lying in there.
Yeah. There's over 1,000 reviews of this Booty Boot Camp.
Yeah.
So unless they're writing them all, then there's a lot of people using this product.
I brought it up because I wanted to see if anyone else has seen it. And I wanted to figure out if it's just Comedy Central that I saw it on, because I thought I saw it on a few other...
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be more risky. I'm sure Comedy Central's like, yeah, I mean, look at the people who are probably watching our stuff. They don't care.
But if it's on, NBC or something, you're there to get some
Yeah.
morning news, and then
Right, that would be like, all right. I don't need booty boot camp going on here, because it sounded like they used some descriptive words from what you were talking about there. I saw this profession, never knew it was a thing. It's fascinating, though. Would you ever want to be an intimacy coordinator?
What the fuck is that?
An intimacy coordinator is somebody that works on TV and movies for sex scenes, the simulated sex scenes. They have somebody that is their whole job. And they say it is very normal for an actor to get physically aroused while filming one of these simulated sex scenes. And it's their job to make sure everybody is comfortable with what's going on. And if they notice that somebody is at attention, they'll be like, all right, time out. And be like, okay, take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Go breathe, get that thing, to a different state.
I had that problem with Grimsley, that one scene I did with him in the bedroom. Could not control my boner.
Yeah.
Big old bone piece.
Big old bone piece. Did you have an intimacy coordinator on the set?
Denny's. Okay, really try to just make it look like
man, I noticed that you
it
had a
look more
raging
natural.
boner. And yeah, they keep the love scenes running smoothly, and they actually choreograph the movements of intimate action. So I guess they're the choreographer, how you'd have one for dance, you have one for lovemaking.
Yeah.
They say it's going to look better from this angle, tug hair here or grab shoulder there or do this move. That's going to be hotter. It's going to look better on camera, and they're really getting into the action.
Well, think about that. They have the same thing with fight coordinators.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it's all dance coordinators, fight coordinators, sex coordinators. That's what it is. And I guess maybe if you look on certain movies, like I watched that House of Gucci, and there's a scene where Lady Gaga's getting plowed in it, and I'm like, okay, if you probably look in the credits of that, you may see that there was an intimacy coordinator working on that scene.
I mean, the porn name just kind of writes itself for that one. House of Gucci.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right.
It's low-hanging fruit.
It is. So yeah, that's actually a real profession, which it's fascinating how you would become an expert in that.
Nate C says, isn't this how James Franco got in trouble? I think James Franco got in trouble. I think people signed up for a class, and he
was doing like private one-on-one. Wasn't there something about that?
He was hooking up with people in the class, for one, and he was the teacher.
Yeah.
But as far as the actors, he would start changing things in the moment. And, any actor will tell you, don't change the script on me, man, unless I... So basically, it's going to go one way. But in the so me and you are doing something, you're supposed to do it one way. Now I'm James Franco. Kev, why don't you take off your shirt now? Yeah, in the script, but it's going to be better for the scene. Yeah,
and it makes sense why you would need to have an intimacy coordinator, because they do. They're like, are you comfortable with this? This scene is going to be... And some scenes are very aggressive, and they would say, hey, look, this is going to be aggressive. I want you to understand what's going to happen. I want you to have a safe word or communicate, what's going on.
Well, I can see, too, if you're sleazy and you're the actor or director and the coordinator, things would go your way. Oh, yeah, why don't we just lose that shirt? Lose that skirt now. Well, it went in the script. Yeah, but it's my script.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so, with the lawsuits and the way these things can go, you can ruin careers. So you've got to have somebody there that probably even understands the legal standing on where you are.
I wouldn't film anything in mixed company without having 17 witnesses and having just a safe guard of just everyone feeling comfortable. And just because too much weird shit, man.
Yeah, Princess said the intimacy coordinator skit on SNL for Bridgerton was funny. And I could see that, if you have a show like that, Bridgerton, where there's just, a lot of sex going on, you got to have somebody that is helping them do it right. That's fascinating. I wonder how you get your criteria in.
Do you have to do you have to get plowed in movies?
Yeah. How do you consider yourself an expert? How do you work up and be like going, oh yeah, I was responsible for the Lady Gaga sex scene in House of Gucci?
I've always heard women talk back in the day about how they loved the making love scene in Top Gun with Kelly McGillis and Tom Cruise, and Take My Breath Away's playing. Did they have a coordinator for that?
I wonder when they started doing it. I'm sure now any movie where you're going to have any intimate scene, maybe not even a full sex scene, you would need to have somebody that is responsible to make sure that everybody's okay. Because if you got a dude with a raging boner that's grinding all up on you, you're like, all right, I'm not feeling this. I'm feeling like I'm being raped on set.
You would have to. I would have so many safeguards.
I know. Yeah, you can see where this can go and how you can get in a lot of trouble and super fast. In fact, they may have a team of intimacy coordinators now.
Let's say you are doing a scene and you do get a boner and you can't control it, and then the person that you're doing the scene is really offended and they don't understand, they don't like that, and then they go on Twitter, he got a boner, blah blah blah. Half the people are gonna.
Well, and I think that they say it's very common, and that's where you would have to say you have to understand what could be happening here.
Twitter don't give a shit about that.
Well, that's why they're like, we need to keep all this in. You probably have to sign non-disclosure agreements and things about what you can talk about from making the movie and say, look, we're not going to put you in a situation where you're going to be in a sex scene. Understand, there's a good chance this actor is going to get a boner.
Kevin Ralston's got to get a bone piece.
You're going to be okay with that. Here's how you get out of it. If you don't, you raise your hand, you do this, you whatever you got to do, but you understand what's going on. We're going to get you on film admitting to this so that if we ever wind up in court, you come back and try to sue us saying that it was nothing but simulated rape and you put me in a terrible situation, that they could say, you knew what was going to happen. We were standing right there. You agreed to this on camera, and that's the only way they would have to protect themselves, I think, is where you have to be.
Horrific story from back in the day with Marlon Brando involved with it. It involves butter, and it involves a very graphic sex scene. And the actress, she said she didn't know what was going to happen, and it was being filmed, and it was over the top, and she didn't know a certain thing was going to. I don't have all the details, so I'm not comfortable speaking specifically what was going on. But it was enough to where you read it, go, oh fuck, if it happened like that, wow.
Because you're talking about an era of time where these things would or could happen.
70s, yeah.
And now, clearly, you can't have that kind of stuff going on where we are in society. But still, people want. I mean, they haven't cut back on sex scenes. In fact, if anything, they've gotten more graphic than ever. Well, and so you clearly have to have somebody that says, hey, this is what this scene is.
I mean, to your point,
here's what's going to happen.
You have to be so detailed about, he takes off your shirt and then he looks like he's sucking on your tits. You would be comfortable with that. Then he's going to bang you from behind. You clean up the language, obviously. But you would have to be so specific. I'm talking today's day and age. I wouldn't even do a sex scene. I really wouldn't. You know,
you'd have to be covered. You'd have to make sure that you have all the safeguards of what is legally appropriate and what you have to do. Clearly have to have witnesses. Everyone has to agree to it. Probably have to sign it, have to have it on video.
Yeah. All
these kind of things that you would have to do to cover your ass. So if it did wind up in court, you could say, look, this was described, that was described, they acknowledged it, here's the film, watch them.
I would be so OCD about making sure.
And it's good that they are. It's smart that they're where they are now with an intimacy coordinator, because you need to be. But you're right. I would be super paranoid doing that, because you never know. Because it doesn't happen right away. You make it the scene, and then what is it, 10 years later or 20 years later,
Kevin,
when you think everything's good?
Kevin made me feel uncomfortable because we did this scene, he got a boner.
You're on vacation with your family 20 years later, and you see this headline like, wait, what's going on
Kevin
here?
got aroused on the oh my gosh, what a fucking pig.
What's going on?
Damn, let's check out Twitter. Damn, they're canceling Kevin again.
So, yeah, I mean, to that point, there's this show, it's HBO, I think it is. It's called Euphoria, and it's got Zendaya in it, and I think she's great in everything she's done, and I think she's one of the most talented actresses that are out there. And I was reading some reviews on it, because I guess they just wrapped up a new season, and they were talking about how graphic it is, a lot of full frontal nudity in it, and it's almost like it shocks you to the point where you're like, I got to turn this off. No, wait, I'm not. And then I saw headlines that just made it sound like the last episode of the season was people regretted watching the whole show because of it. So it's going to take a while for me to get into it, but I mean, that's just a case in point where they're almost making stuff so over the top now.
But all that shit annoys me when people get all so fucking butthurt about content they don't like. Then don't watch it. If everyone involved is agreeing to make this and they're all cool with making it, and you don't like it, if it's too graphic, if it's too sexual, then don't fucking watch it. It's a made up story.
I think what it is, it was the conundrum of people, because there are some people that like, hey, anything goes. But I think a lot of people at some point, your sensibilities are like, okay, that's a little much. And that seems to be what it is, where the story must be good, but you're like going, okay, it's a little much. Like, did they have to show that much?
But what's a little much? A little much to you is going to be different to when you start going down that slope. Now we're playing little games of, well, this is too much to him, and it's too much. It's tit for tat. And it's annoying. If you don't like something, don't fucking watch it.
Yeah, and that's why for me right now, I don't know that I would watch Euphoria, even though I like Zendaya, and it sounds like it's good for the most part, but I'll wait until I get a lot more reviews. And like Princess in the chat room said, yeah, the most recent season of Euphoria was crazy with the sex scenes. So that's the one thing I'm hearing about that.
Look, my point of view is if everything's legal, no one's doing anything they don't want to do. Now it's just an argument or a conversation of semantics. What you like compared to other, not you. I'm saying the topic about that.
Yeah, and every now and then you just don't even know. And Steven had said, yeah, Kevin, the sex scene with John Cena in Peacemaker is very explicit, and I don't know how it could be faked. And like I said, yeah, it's him, and he's got a chick over a sink, and you're just like, whoa. You're like, all right, wasn't expecting that. It just like came out of nowhere. And that was the show that, because my son grew up loving John Cena, and he's 13 now. I'm like, all right, it's probably like PG-13 type content. When I found out he watched it by himself, I guess. And I was like, oh, man. Yeah, he saw a pretty graphic scene there.
Yeah, I don't want people to get it twisted either. I'm not saying that you watch something, you can't give your opinion and say it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people that want to tear it down and stop it and shut it down.
I'm not, but I'm one of those people where, the Lady Gaga scene in House of Gucci is fine, but if it's a lot of just raging full frontal and all that stuff, I'll be like, yeah, it's a little. I'm that way with violence too. I think it was Sons of Anarchy. Somebody told me it's like over the top, gory and gross and all that and violent, and I was like, yeah, I'm one of those. I would say I'm probably a 60 to 70%er. I'm like, I'm okay with it, but I want more story. And if it's like, all right, okay, I get it.
I'm
that's
exactly
too gory.
like you.
That's too much. I'm like, yeah.
I don't like when people just throw it in just to throw it in there.
It's like, okay.
And I am so the same way with graphic violent scenes. I cannot do it. I mean, I can do your basic. I always talk about that one with Joe Pesci in Casino out in the cornfield, and they're beating him over the head with the bat. It goes on and on. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. I like more the suggestion of like, wow, he must have really got his ass whooped than to see him really getting his ass whooped.
A hit on the head. And then, I get it. He's dead.
Well, they hit him. I like where they hit him in the head and it goes black, and you're like, okay.
There you go. They fucked him off.
Not with that Joe Pesci scene.
No. Oh my gosh. I cannot even watch that scene. I'm like
a couch director going, cut.
Yeah. Him again. Is he dead? I think you got him.
On that, we always talk about the recommendations, and it does take a lot of KVJ Nationers pushing me down before I do invest in something. And John D. given another recommendation here. He said, I know you've been into Yellowstone. Check out this 1883 show. It is a prequel. It's 10 episodes, all available on the Paramount Network. They just wrapped up the season on this first season. I don't think they're doing a second, according to what the creator's saying. Tim McGraw, Sam Elliott, Faith Hill, Isabel May. Absolutely the best show I've seen in a very long time. It's all about the journey on the Oregon Trail and how the Duttons got to Montana. The acting is phenomenal. You won't regret it. So, yeah, I probably am going to head to that here soon and check that out.
Mandolin in the chat room said the curb stomp scene in American History X is pretty rough too, and I agree.
Yeah, I remember that.
I like it.
Well, and when I get a movie like that has a scene like that, it's a one and done for me. I'll watch it. I've not watched that movie twice, and I remember it being good.
It's a great movie,
but
Kevin.
the curb stomp scene did it. I'm like, I'm not going back to that one. It's all right. I got everything out of it.
The other thing I can't watch, I cannot. It makes me shut down visibly when I see a scene of somebody with a knife and someone's blocking it with their hands or they're cutting their hands.
Yeah,
and
no, can't.
Even if it's fake.
Can't.
Or if I'm hearing those murder stories and they talk about the hands and the knife in the hands just really kicks me right in the dick.
I'd always heard that with murderers that they say that's the most personal. If somebody shoots somebody, all right, because you're kind of removing yourself, but that lunging a knife into somebody, having that feeling and
Agreed.
then moving it around. They say it's a different level of murder to murder somebody with a knife than a gun.
Well, you're right, because someone with a knife, unless they're a great knife chucker, they got to be up on top of you. They have to be so intimate.
You're right. It's intimate, personal. It's a different kind
They
of.
can say things to you.
Yeah.
You can hear all kind of different nuances hit that scenario right there.
Like, I think I could probably, if I had to defend family, could shoot somebody going up and knifing and moving around. I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I got it in me.
Remember that case, the DC Beltway sniper? They were sniping people from way far away. You can't hear. You can't see a person's eyes.
You don't make the connection.
Yeah.
It's not. You're almost like playing a video game at that point.
It's horrible, but it's a different kind of horrible.
Yeah, totally is. So yeah, the real psychotic people are the ones that just. Can't remember what show I was watching. Going, I just love watching the life drain out of their eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, what a line that is.
I don't know if anyone's seen this show before. It's a great show, but it's one of those shows when you watch it, I start to break out into a sweat. It's called I Survived. And it's all of these scenarios of people who they were about to die, but they survived it somehow.
Oh, wow.
A lot of them are. A man breaks in with a knife and has them captive and is cutting them up, and they escape. But the whole time, the way they edit that show,
it sounds really good. I like the premise.
They do about 3 stories.
It'd be tough to watch. It's one of those shows that sounds like it would wear you out. You ever watch a show and get tired?
Kevin,
I'm physically exhausted watching this show.
I watched one yesterday.
Yeah.
I fucking felt like I ran 17 miles. I was so tired.
I need a shower.
But it's so good. There was this one guy, him and his 3 friends, they were out mountain climbing in some other country, and they got taken by hostages. And they were drug dealers for the Taliban, and they were trying to kill them.
Oh, damn. Yeah, they do a lot of heroin, I think. And
they watched people get shot. They escaped. They were running through people shooting them, and they all lived.
That's insane, man. It is insane. There are just some parts of the world. We'd had that story with the Cartel in Mexico yesterday in the whacked out news. Gunned down 17 people at a wake, put them up against a wall.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that was in retaliation, because they said they had another funeral from a week prior where they just lined up 9 people. And I'm like, it's out of control, man.
For sure. It's pretty creepy.
It's freaking insane, dude. And yeah, you're right. And then my wife's like, yeah, we're going to go to Juarez. I'm like, we don't have to go to any wake, do we?
Yeah, no kidding.
If one of your family members died, I'm not going to that. That is sorry. Yeah, just crazy stuff. So, yeah, some great reviews. Appreciate all that stuff that you guys send to us. You can always send them in, mail@kvjshow.com. All right, back tomorrow with Vicious V. Finish out the week. Find out how her trip was to New Orleans. Looked like it was pretty well documented, though. If you want to go see it, that's up on Facebook. Be interesting to see where she's going to be drinking this weekend. If she's going to tear into anything, it's going to be a Toll Vodka, I'm sure. So she's going to be back in the saddle tomorrow. You guys enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you back here.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.